Gina, what's driving you? What's the favorite part of your current job?
Oh my gosh, what drives me? Well, the community is definitely driving me and not the other way around. So that's a pretty interesting thing. The community is growing so fast and it's been really amazing for us. I mean, we didn't have a big vision for the physical offline community, to be honest. We really wanted to grow the community globally, but we wanted to do it all online. And, it kind of makes sense that we would want to do that. I've been running events, physical events for 13 years now, and I just feel that physical events can be logistically difficult, time consuming. So my plan was really to move and transition online. But one of the things that the members are always asking for is, can we meet up? Can we have a physical event? I want to meet, who is from my local town, who wants to connect with me. So it was kind of a natural transition that we would want these local ladies to meet up. But my actual answer to the question of can we have events was, well, no, Connected Women doesn't really do events. So if you want to meet up, then you can meet up. We can create a meetup locally, and so it started from there a year ago with the first 7 meetups. And so we guide, we provide the tools, the information, and we help set up, because some of the ladies have never run a community event before, and that's fine, because it's really just a gathering of people that want to meet and connect. So it started like that, but honestly, it got completely out of control and overwhelming at some point last year, because it just grew so fast. So we've had 167 meetups now in a year, which were all led by ladies on the ground who volunteer because they want to bring connected women to their local cities. So that's been crazy. But what drives me, it's really the impact that we have. I mean, I look at the meetups and I think this is great. They can meet, they can connect, they can network. We can give women a chance to collaborate with each other locally as well as globally. And that's what we're all about. But I don't expect sometimes how deep the impact is on an individual level. So I get messages from ladies saying, being part of Connected Women changed my life. And for all different reasons. And they share their stories with me. And when I read these stories, it just makes me want to grow it bigger. Even though I'm actually terrified of growing it any bigger, really. I can't control this. I can't stop it from growing, because, the stories, what we see out there, how women connect and how they really leverage on this platform to help each other is just so incredible.
Oh my goodness. Yes, I know, you can't stop it.
Can't stop it now.
Coming to North America next, so.
Yes. Oh, I'm also afraid of launching in America, but I'm excited because I know that there's still space, in all the different countries for something like Connected Women, because we're kind of different, I think. There's lots and lots of amazing Connected Women or communities similar to Connected Women out there. And, as someone who's been running and being part of women's organizations for really a long time, it's about finding that connection with a membership and a community that you really feel like you belong. And it's great to try out different ones, and then if you come to Connected Women and you feel like you've come home, then you'll know that this is the right community for you. And I certainly feel like that whenever I visit any of our community events.
Absolutely, absolutely. If you had to pick any character in the book, movie, or TV show which is most similar to you, what would it be and why?
So I love this question so much, because this is the kind of thing that I talk about with my kids and my husband all the time, like random things like this. So I relate in a major way to Spider-Man because, Spider-Man's story is quite different to the other superheroes, I think. Like he really did not intend to be a superhero. And actually, in the beginning, in some of there's so many different versions of it, but the ones that the movies that I really love are the ones where he's really not doing a great job of being a superhero in the beginning. Like either he's clumsy or he can't quite get it right, or he gets a little bit too arrogant, and it's kind of awkward to watch because he starts to like learn his powers and then he turns into this sort of, a little bit arrogant, a little bit annoying person. And I think that, we all have that potential, right? And I see it in myself. And when I watch movies like that, it reminds me, like, don't do that. Don't turn into that person that gets a little bit cocky about, their success or anything like that. And it just reminds me that leadership is not something that you choose a lot of the time. So women say to me, oh, you know, I admire your work so much, and I wish that I could, you know, I've always wanted to start a community for, you know, photographers or you know, stay-at-home moms or whatever it is that they're passionate about, but I'm an introvert. Like that's really like something that I hear all the time. But people don't realize that I'm not really a big extrovert. I'm not really like a natural leader. I'm kind of socially awkward. I'm shy on camera. So all of the things that I do, I push myself out of my comfort zone to do it. So, you know, when you watch movies of superhero characters like Spider-Man, you remember that often behind that sort of the face that you see out there is someone who's also struggling, you know, having challenges, doubting themselves, doing things wrong, and you know, and learning as they go along. So I think, yeah, Spider-Man, he's my hero.
So when you were growing up, what was your dream job?
I had a really strange childhood. I've had a really strange life, actually. Like, those who hear my story, like my sort of life story, they realize that my life has been very unconventional. And so I thought I wanted to be a vet, actually. And I still love animals, and I'm super passionate about that. Maybe when I retire, I always have this retirement plan of all the different things that I could do when I retire. Like it could be, when you're a kid, it's like, what do you want to do when you grow up? And when you start getting to our age, it's like, what do you want to do when you retire? And I'm thinking, you know, either cut, you know, do something really crazy, like get loads of tattoos and then open up a biker bar or something extreme like that. Or I could really go follow my passion for animals and go and, you know, like that lady who lives in some rainforest and just takes care of monkeys or something. But actually as a child, yeah, I wanted to be a vet, and there was lots of reasons why that happened. But I'm not a good student. I got bored in school. I couldn't tolerate sitting in the classroom. Like classroom learning didn't work for me. And then a lot of weird things happened in my life that actually caused me to go off track from the original plan. So, but it's all been good. You know, Steve Jobs says you can't connect the dots looking forward, right? You can only connect the dots looking backwards. And as strange and unconventional as my life has been, I can actually see the patterns of where major things shifted and took me off one path and got me onto the next path. And all of those things eventually got me to where I am right now. And I couldn't imagine or dream of doing anything else, really.
What's your biggest regret?
Oh, gosh, you've got all the good questions. Oh, my gosh. I think I went through a phase in my life where, and I think we all do this, like we go through phases in our lives where we have so many regrets for the things that we didn't do, or the thing. Often it's the things that you didn't do, right? Like, oh, you know,
isn't it?
I should have done this. I should have carried on with that. But you know, after a while, they all seem to just vanish away. They become insignificant because, you know, regret is like a very poisonous and terrible sort of trait to have, right? Like regret and blame. And I think for many of us, you know, it's hard to let go of the things that we didn't achieve. It's easy to beat ourselves up about the things that we could have done better or we should have done better, but it's very unhealthy. So there was a point in my life where I was really at rock bottom, and I blamed myself for so many things, and I had so much guilt about the decisions that I'd made. Funny, looking back now, I don't know what the drama was all about, but at the time, that's how I felt, you know, and it's valid and it's relevant at the time. And I made a conscious decision because I looked at myself and I suddenly realized that it wasn't necessary. I don't know, I had this moment of compassion for myself, which is a very strange thing because generally speaking, it's easy to be compassionate for other people, but it's very difficult to be compassionate for ourselves, right? And I really went through a hard time in my 20s. Like lots of points in my life had ups and downs, but I went through a very difficult time in my 20s. And I suddenly had a moment of compassion for myself because my life and I was in such a mess that I couldn't not feel sorry for myself. And at that moment in time, you know, I picked myself up and I said, I never want to feel like this again. And the first thing I had to do was let go of the blame and the regret that I was putting on myself. And I changed my life. Wow, I didn't expect this to be such a deep question, but yeah, I changed my life because I realized that I'm only human. I'm doing my very best. And at the end of every day, I say, I did my best. Sometimes my decisions were not perfect. Sometimes I made mistakes. I could have done it better. And tomorrow I have another chance to do that.
Isn't it?
So yeah, it was a gift to myself when I realized I could let go of these negative emotions that really, you know, were destroying me actually. And I'm sure that there are many people that can relate.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. So it was a good question.
Oh my God, that was like a lot deeper than you're like Dr. America, Dr. America in the house. You know, women, we feel guilty if we're a stay-at-home mom because we feel that we should have had a career and we regret giving up the career. But then if we have the career, we feel guilty and we regret that we didn't stay at home more. And, you know, it's like we can never win if we do this to ourselves as women.
I totally agree. I totally agree.
Yeah.
Yes. In how many countries and cities you've been organizing meetups up until now?
So in the last year, we've had 167 meetups all over the world. We've actually had over 7,600 registered attendees, 47 cities across 6 different countries. So we've had meetups in Pakistan, in Singapore, in the UK, Malaysia, Taiwan, and the Philippines. And we're coming soon to Canada, so I'm super, super excited about that. And I really hope that we can get more global cities up and running. We have interest from Vietnam. We have interest from other countries. They're just reaching out saying, we've heard about Connected Women, how can we start it here? And Pakistan has been an amazing community. They reached out to us, they wanted to bring Connected Women there. They have amazing, strong leadership, and they're super, super passionate about helping women. So, you know, seeing the growth of the Pakistan community has been one of the highlights of my year, because it's just so cool. And the crazy thing is I feel so connected to the women there because their challenges are exactly the same as our challenges here in the Philippines. You know, similar but different in some cases, but you know, in many cases exactly the same. And I see this in the UK and I see this in Singapore, and I'm sure that you will see it in Canada as well. So, you know, the things that challenge us connect us, and the solutions that we find to solve these problems connect us. And that's what's so exciting about being a global community that's also local. So the Connected Women magazine, which is also something that we created for the community, in fact, it started back in 2014 because we realized that there's so much talent in the community, and most of you are the world's best kept secret. So, and you might be doing a great job of marketing your business, but are you actually showcasing yourself? Because at the end of the day, people buy from people. So we created this magazine platform where you can contribute content. So if you're an expert in any field, you can share content with the community of women. And if you are a passionate writer, that's great. You can send us content that's already on your existing website, and we can actually credit back to you and link back to you. If you are not a experienced writer, that's also okay, because you might not be a perfect writer, but you are an expert in your field. So what we're looking for is not your writing skills, we're looking for your expertise. So me and my team can work together to actually get that article ready to publish, but we just want you to share what you know and what you do with the world and your passions. So the magazine has been doing super well. It's really just for members, so we don't have any advertising or anything like that on the platform. It's just there for us to share with each other our expertise, and also connect with each other as well through sharing this knowledge. So in recent stats about the magazine, we've had almost over 2.8 million all-time page views since we launched. We've had 1.5 million unique page views, so we really get a lot of traffic just from the community itself. And we get about 50,000 upwards monthly page views. So it's really, really worth you know, sharing your expertise and raising your profile. And all of the really good experts out there that do really well in their businesses know that their own personal brand is really important. So I don't want to hear the excuse that you're more of a behind the scenes kind of person, or that there are other people in your business that are out there. Every business person needs to be out there being an expert. But don't worry, we will help you. That's the whole point of Connected Women. So please don't be shy. Please don't be humble. Let's shout about you and your expertise to the world.